Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zengkong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dubden Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today. The heavenly king of the north, Vaisravana, Yellow Jambala. Simu, Tanzin Gatso, Tutan City, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma tutors, directors, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good afternoon, how do you do?
你好，大家好。现在刚刚愛してるサランゲオラアミコケケロムチョすごい一番気持ちいいジュミヤピプリンプリンこんにちは。现在通知大家。
I would like to announce
next week, June 20, June 30. July. Oh, July, okay. July 30. Afternoon 3 o'clock p.m. 是准提佛母护摩法会。
There would be Jundi Buddha Mother Homa. For next Sunday. And typically there are many primary supplicants registering for Jundi Buddha Mother. It's wonderful to have Jundi as your yidam and protector, or protector. And her mudra is the chief mudra or general mudra. And the mantra. Today we perform Jambala, Yellow Jambala, Homa. We all know that Jambala is the wealth deity. And in Tantric Buddhism, he is considered to be the four heavenly Dharma protectors. And all four of them are wealth deities. Or wealth providers.
Oh, 这一尊呢，不只是在藏密非常有名，
So this deity is very famous, not only in Tibetan Tantayana but also Japanese Tantayana. When we visited Shikoku, in the prefecture there, called Jintao Bilu Gong. That's a temple with many steps. Jintao Bilu Gong. If you've been there, you would know. How many of you have been there? It's the Nakatatu district of Kagawa Prefecture. It's Kotohiraku with a long flight of stairs. And they enshrine yellow Jambala there. It's in the northern part of Shikoku Island. To receive blessings from the Jambala, you have to have a generous heart and perform acts of giving. And there are three kinds of giving. The first one is giving wealth and also giving to the ghosts and the yaksas and material things. And then make offering to the Sangha. And then if you learn and perform the sadhana or the ritual of offering to yellow Jambala, then you would easily gain spiritual response with him. So first you offer food to the ghosts and raksasas. And you have to be very familiar with yellow Jambalas, a practice procedure. Now we'll do the Q&A. This disciple wrote, this is a question from no country. Tiffany. Tiffany. From somewhere without a country. Very smart. By writing there's no country, then people will know which country that is. Beloved Grandmaster Living Buddha Lien Sheng, in Grandmaster's book 291, The Miraculous of a Dharma King, in the article where Vimalakirti gave advice about the 1,000 Dharma vessel Bardo deliverance, it mentioned that there are three kinds of wisdoms. The first one is the wisdom of all knowledge, or wisdom of emptiness, which is the wisdom of the arhats, to refer that everything is empty. And the wisdom of the knowledge of the path, or the wisdom of existence. It's the wisdom of the bodhisattvas, referring that everything is existence. By liberating self and others, they deliver sentient beings at their mission. And the last one is the wisdom, or the all-encompassing wisdom or all-embracing wisdom, which is the wisdom of the Buddha. It encompasses both emptiness and existence. It's neither emptiness nor existence, and existence amidst true emptiness. I like the advice of Grandmaster Lu, who's endowed with perfect wisdom. How can we develop our intrinsic inner wisdom? How do we realize these three kinds of wisdom? And is there any difference between a man and woman in this practice? So, the fundamental wisdom, or the wisdom of emptiness, the wisdom of discernment, or the wisdom of existence, and then the all-embracing wisdom. The fundamental wisdom focuses more on emptiness. The wisdom of discernment is to observe the realm of sentient beings. So it's about the wisdom of discernment and differentiation. And the all-embracing wisdom is the combination of both emptiness and existence. So it's both emptiness and existence. It's neither emptiness nor existence, and existence amidst true emptiness. So the wisdom of emptiness, together with the wisdom of existence, are the all-embracing wisdom. So there are three kinds of wisdoms. How to develop them, and how to realize them, and any difference between man and woman. We should say that they're the same. No difference between man and woman. They're all the same in this. How to develop them? Then listen more. Pray for the blessings by the Guru, absorption by the Yidam, and protection from the protector. Pray for blessings by your Yidam, by your protector, and from your Guru. Then you would develop your wisdom. Here we have someone that has a very vast wisdom. Or someone without wisdom, which is the one who asked that question yesterday, that to do good deeds you need handwritten instruction for Grandmaster. Come on. You would know. Thinking with your toes, you don't even need your brain to know. Use your knees to think that how could you need a Grandmaster's handwritten specific instruction to do good deeds? What a joke. If everyone needs Grandmaster's handwritten instruction, and I have 5 million disciples, that would be endless. And now, it's a bad time. The red pocket offerings have shrunk. It's okay if you give $1 bill And not only that, it's so old and crumpled that maybe you got it from the market somewhere. And you can't even use it because it's so old and faded. So they develop these three kinds of wisdom. In Tantric Buddhism, you need the blessings from the Guru, blessings from the Yidam, and the blessings from the protector. Someone wrote a booklet for me, and in it, it's all about wisdom. How did she get the wisdom? It's through the blessing by Vajrasattva and blessing by Guru Padmasambhava, and also by the lineage root Guru, by Medicine Buddha, and supported by Mahabrahma Deva. It's all about wisdom in it. To be able to obtain these three kinds of wisdoms, you need blessings from the root Guru, blessings by your Yidam, by Golden Mother too, and also by the protector, Mahabrahma, that's the protector. And in Tantric Buddhism, the prince, the Dharma prince, Vajrasattva, and there's one among all of us here today who has received the blessing by Vajrasattva, by Guru Padmasambhava, by the lineage root Guru, by Golden Mother, and by Mahabrahma Deva. The whole booklet is filled with wisdom. It includes emptiness, existence, and both emptiness and existence, and neither emptiness nor existence, and existence amidst true emptiness. So we have such a disciple. Of course, there's no need to mention, because if I mention it, then everyone will ask a question. And many people can also see Grandmaster's blessings. It's not the physical Grandmaster, but all the Dharma bodies of Grandmaster in the cosmic space that give them blessings. Such a thing does exist. That's why in Tantric Buddhism, in order to develop your prajna or wisdom, you need the blessings from the root Guru, Yidam, and your protector in order to gain these three wisdoms. Without them, then it's only superficial. One is the fundamental wisdom, one is the wisdom of discernment, and the combination of the two, which is the all-embracing wisdom. Last night, after I got home, Vimalakirti was waiting for me.
他说，他告诉我，
And he told
昨天
me,
晚上讲的是什么法？
what kind of Dharma were you talking
我
about?
回答，
And
你
I
说的是什么法？
responded, what kind of Dharma are you talking about? And I'm talking about it accordingly.
他问我，
He
你到
asked
底懂
me,
不懂？
do you understand or not?
维摩诘问我，你到底懂不懂？
Vimalakirti asked me, do you understand or not?
看了你这个
And I
维摩诘
said,
经啊，我觉得
reading the
我越来越
Vimalakirti Sutra, I become more and
根本
more
就不懂。
befuddled, confused.
他说你不会
I
比
don't
喻啊
understand at all. Can't you use an analogy?
我说怎么比喻？我
How?
不清楚你讲的是什么。
I don't know what you're talking about.
维摩诘就告诉我，
And
释
Vimalakirti
迦
told
牟尼
me,
佛说法，
when Sakyamuni Buddha gave
当
Dharma
有人
teaching,
不懂的时候，
when someone did not understand, then he would use an
所以
analogy.
佛陀有一本经典，叫做
That's why
经。
the Buddha has a sutra called the Parable Sutra or the Metaphor Sutra. Anybody has read that sutra?
有谁看过？
Everything is about metaphors
啊，比喻经啊，
parable.
对呀，莲望还是
Yan
博
Wang
学多闻，
is very educated,
他知道有比喻
has
经。
read a lot, so he knows.
听不懂的用比喻，他们就
So
听
for
得懂。
those who don't understand, you use analogies or metaphors. And when I heard that, oh, that's
维
what
摩
it.
诘就讲说：“你不是唱过一条歌吗？”我说：“
And
我还没有
then
唱歌。
Vimalakirti said, "Didn't you sing the song?" And I said,
他就
I
吟给我
did.
听，但是我喉咙不太好，
And then he
唱的话
hummed it
沙
for
哑。
me.
我以为我唱歌唱得很好，
And I didn't sing very well. It's very coarse.
以后再也不
I
唱。
thought I sang quite well, but one time I
真的，
I heard it on the internet, and from then on, I don't dare to sing anymore.
卖啦，卖安尼啦，卖害我。
No, please don't do that. Don't.
我记得我唱歌难听哦，但是至少比那个山庄的莲万好听一点。
Although my singing is bad, but it's still better than Lian Wan from the Rainbow Temple, Master Lian Wan.
有几句是这样子，
The few verses.
是海，人生是波浪，
The Buddha nature is the ocean.
在当
Human lives are the waves, and we are wandering and wandering amid them.
回到
And at the end,
上
we return to the
我
ocean.
心，
The Buddha nature is the ocean,
人生是波浪，
and the human lives are the waves,
在当中流
and we
浪
are wandering and wandering
中
amidst it.
还是
And at the end,
回到
we
海上。
eventually return to the ocean.
有这样子的，
So there's such a song.
我告诉你，
Let me tell you,
维摩诘就告诉我，你
Vimalakirti
用
told
这个
me,
做比喻，
you use that
他
for
们就会听得懂。
an analogy and they will understand.
这个维摩诘告诉
So
亚当言，
Vimalakirti told Katyayana,
勿以心生灭心说实相。什么
do
生
not
灭心
speak on the Dharma of real phenomena with the arising and ceasing mind.
海浪就
And
是生灭心。
the ocean waves are the arising and ceasing mind. because the ocean waves rise due to the wind. So the ocean generates waves, but momentarily, and they disappear. When they arises and ceases, that's called the mind of arising and ceasing. That's the explanation of the arising and ceasing mind. Katyayana, everything is non-arising and non-ceasing. The true ocean, the Buddha nature, is non-arising and non-ceasing. It's an ocean. But why the waves are there? Because there is karma, which is the wind. And due to the wind, they create waves on top of the ocean. And the ocean is the permanence, and the waves are the impermanence, or refer to the impermanence. The ocean refers to the permanence. So, are the waves part of the ocean? Yes. So the impermanence is also permanence, because the waves are only temporary and become the ocean again. Therefore, impermanence is permanence. And the ocean waves are also the ocean. There is no difference between the ocean waves and the ocean. So that's what it means by the impermanence is permanence. The meaning of impermanence, whether what kind of waves you are, eventually you will return to the ocean. Now we are all just ocean waves, but eventually we will return to the ocean. Therefore, impermanence is permanence. So here, the key point is talking that impermanence is permanence. And what is suffering? The ocean waves are of course suffering, because you churn due to the karma, the wind of karma. Now humans in samsara are to play out our karma, because we come to samsara due to our karma. So what you suffer, of course, is suffering. With birth, aging, illness, and death, especially the suffering of being ill, is true suffering. But the true Buddha nature has no suffering and no happiness. So in the future, you will return to the ocean. The sufferings too are temporary. So no suffering and no happiness. So all the concepts that Katyayana was speaking on were the concepts of the ocean waves, not the concept of the ocean. But talking about the concept of the ocean, there would be no suffering and no happiness. So Vimalakirti told me, explain the impermanence, that impermanence is permanence. The ocean is permanence, and the ocean waves are impermanence. Why is the impermanence permanence? Because the ocean waves rise momentarily and then return momentarily and become the ocean again. That's the explanation. And also no suffering and no happiness, because your suffering is also temporary. It's illusory. The suffering is there because of karma, and it disappears momentarily. So when you return to the non-arising and non-ceasing state, then the suffering will disappear. Therefore, there is no suffering and no happiness. So ultimately, everything is empty. The ocean has no action. And it is only because of the wind that the waves rise, which is the human lives. So the waves are arising and ceasing, but the ocean itself is non-arising and non-ceasing. And it is empty. Buddha nature is like the ocean. No use. But it is non-arising and non-ceasing, no suffering and no happiness. Without the blown of karma. So ultimately, it's non-existent, inherently empty. So self and no self. Self is the ocean waves. When you return to the ocean, that's no self. So self and no self are equal. The ocean waves are also the ocean. And self is the same as no self, because the ocean waves are also the ocean. When I heard Vimalakirti said that, all of a sudden I understood and everything is open. The human life is just the ocean waves. It's just a dream and an illusion. So what can ocean waves gain? Eventually they'll become the ocean again. So we're talking about how come there's so many Buddhas, like the medicine Buddha or the Akshobhya Buddha. Maybe medicine Buddha is Akshobhya Buddha, maybe not. But actually the Buddha nature is the same, they're all ocean. And it's the same salty. It's just that it's North Ocean or South, East, West Ocean. That's how they are differentiated. So the names of the Buddhas are actually they're all the same Buddhas. But you can also say they're different. Because that one is the East Ocean. Like the Dragon King of the East Ocean, or as the East Seas, of course, the East Sea belongs to China, otherwise where would the Dragon King reside? And the South Sea, of course, belongs to China, otherwise the Avalokitesvara will not be able, where would Avalokitesvara live? I'm not talking about politics, okay? Just talking about the northeast, southwest seas. So Vimalakirti has a very supreme, superior wisdom. So the wisdom, the ocean, is the beyond worldly dharma, and the ocean waves are the worldly dharma. So Katyayana, don't speak on things about the ocean waves. You should talk about the ultimate truth, which is the ocean. So there's no use talking about the ocean waves, because eventually the ocean waves become the ocean. So self and no self are the same, because the self is ocean waves and no self is the ocean. And human lives, humans in the human lives are just ocean waves. And because of the wind of karma, the ocean generates the ocean waves for the temporary moment, which includes birth, aging, illness, and death, which includes self, emptiness, existence, extinction, suffering, happiness. So you talk about the ocean waves, which are the impermanence, suffering, emptiness, no self, and extinction. But what Vimalakirti was talking about is the ocean. The ocean is the first ultimate truth, the first and foremost. But when you talk about the ocean waves, that would be second rate. So Vimalakirti told Katyayana, don't talk about the impermanence, suffering, emptiness, no self, and extinction of the ocean waves. Now do you understand? I got home last night and almost fought with him. I was going to curse him, but curse in Taiwanese is also the name of a city in Taiwan. Changhua City, Bagua Mountain, and then the pig stall, and our master Lianji is the abbot of the Guashan Leizang Temple, which is next to a pig's farm. And if you go there, then the smell of the pigs would be free for you. So that's the title of Master Lianji. Now you understand this passage now. So the ocean is non-arising and non-ceasing. The ocean is impermanence, and the same as permanence. So impermanence is permanence. Also with no suffering and no happiness, and not having or owning anything because it is intrinsically empty. And without the wind of the karma, the ocean is always the ocean. And what is extinction? It also has the phenomena of extinction. I heard Vimalakirti told me about the ocean and emptiness. That your song was talking about it. Buddha nature is the ocean. Human lives are the ocean waves. And we're just wandering amidst them all. And eventually we will return to the ocean. So don't think that your suffering is suffering. There's no need to think that way. Otherwise you'll feel depressed. As long as you have a strong spiritual commitment and diligent and serious in your spiritual cultivation, every single being will become a Buddha eventually and would have attainment. Now, is it clear? So Vimalakirti told me this because last night I was tossing and turning about permanence and impermanence, about self and no self, about existence and emptiness, suffering and happiness. Sakyamuni Buddha said, suffering, emptiness, no self, impermanence, and extinction. Actually, these 5 are also Buddha nature. They are also the ocean waves. So the most important point is, as Vimalakirti often says, why bother cutting into 2 pieces the worldly Dharma and beyond worldly Dharma? Because without worldly Dharma, there will not be beyond worldly Dharma, and vice versa. Like the ocean and ocean waves, you cannot separate the 2. So there's no need to specially abandon the Dharma of the world. Then you can attain Tao, the way. So Vimalakirti often states this in the sutra, that in the human world you can also attain Tao. You already know, recognize Buddha nature. So as long as you can transform, then you can return. Like what I have said, greed, anger, and delusion are also Buddha Dharma. Because greed, anger, and delusion are ocean waves. They are ocean waves. How come they are Buddha Dharma? Because the ocean waves are also part of the ocean. They are not separate from the ocean. So although we have greed, anger, and delusion, but from the greed, anger, and delusion, you can also cultivate spiritually. So in Tantric Buddhism, we also have consort practice to remedy greed. And for anger, that's their Heruka practices. And the 4 karma yogas or attainments to remedy delusion, which is like wealth deity practice for purification, enrichment, magnification, and subjugation. Because there's nothing to gain, so why do you still practice it? But frankly speaking, the one we did last week, the Homa of Ma-Zu, only had very few primary supplicants, like the stars at dawn. You can barely see the stars. But for the wealth deity today, we have so many stars in the sky. So see how ignorant and how foolish the sentient beings are. When they heard, oh, it's wealth deity, Jambala, and then they registered. But the Dharma of a Bodhisattva, maybe it's more important to earn money. They are more interested in the wealth deity, and then they would buy lottery afterward. That's right. That True Buddha School is a school for winning lotteries. We have so many people winning lotteries. Really, too many of them. It's hard to count. From the first one, Somai, Lianhua Somai, who won first prize in the, I think, Megabucks. And then there are many subsequent people. And recently, that won the Taiwan Power Lottery. I cannot say their name. It's better not to publicize. That at the Taiwan ceremony, we will always call on their names. I can maybe just specify, because there are many of them, right? Can I specify a little bit more? What do you think? But they said that their children don't even know. They don't even let the children know because otherwise would take a lot of money from them. When they got to Seattle, they brought some offering for me, the winner of the lottery. And I wanted to say, oh, thank you for winning the lottery. And the son was walking and walking in, and they said, no, please, shh, don't say anything. So they don't even let the son know. How can I say anything then? So when I called on the list of the VIPs at the Taiwan temple, their names are included there. Their name is included there. So that person is one of the VIPs. So today we had a jambala, yellow jambala, and there were many people becoming primary supplicants, about 5 times of those of Matsu. So the jambala as primary supplicants are about 5 times more than Matsu. Matsu's primary supplicants. When I saw those, my heart skipped a beat, wondering if I want to buy a lottery. But I never bought any lottery. It's not in my destiny. But Simu, some people would never get it, but some people do, and some often win lotteries. Like the singer Xin Long, right? He won a lottery, and he was reported in the news, but he declined. A newscaster, Wu Zhongxian, reported that Xin Long won a lottery. So he was on the phone with me, and I told him, "Oh, so you won a lottery?" And he didn't say directly, and just say, "Thank you, Grandmaster, for your blessing. Thank you for your blessing." And I asked him, "How come you never come again to the Taiwan temple?" And he just said, "Oh, thank you for your blessing, Grandmaster." He didn't answer directly. So that happened. And also in Seattle, someone won a lottery too. Two people in Seattle won lotteries, but I cannot name their names either. And they bought houses. You can do some divination and see who they are. So the ones who registered for primary supplicants today, the wife asked the husband, "Is the braised fish today good? Tastes good?" So. And how about the pork? Okay. And how about the braised tofu? And the husband said, okay. And then the wife said, "Why can't you say anything is good?" And the husband said, "And the rice." This is also Chinese. The rice is so hard, so tough. Ming asked his girlfriend, "Oh, your tails are so beautiful. I've never seen such a color."
女朋友回答：“是吗？”
Really? And Ming said,
透着黑，黑里面夹着
"There's
紫里面
a
又有
red
蓝
and then
蓝色的
a black in the middle, and then in it there's also orange and blue. So who did your nail?"
不好气的讲，是
And the
刚才
girlfriend
关车
said,
门夹到的。
"You know, I caught it in the door, in the car door." 哦，这个可能是简讯吧。 This is about a text.
这个小明给房东的小姐简讯。房东
Ming
小姐你好，
sent a text to the
房
tenant,
东小
his
姐
tenant.
还没有啊。
"How are you? Are you asleep?" "No, not yet.
今
What's
天
up?"
心情不好，想要找你
"I'm in a bad mood. I
房东小姐
just want to
你
check
想
with
聊
you.
什么呢？
What do you want to
小
chat?"
明回答：都
And
可以呀，
Ming said, "Anything."
你来找个话题吧。
So
房东小
just
姐说：那么就谈
just
该给
find a
你
topic.
涨多少房租。
And then the tenant said, "Oh, how about the raise to your rent?" And Ming said, "Forget it then."
这也是一个笑话。
That's a joke too.
这不行不行，这个笑话是黄色的。
This is a dirty
黄色的笑
joke.
话
Nah,
不要讲啊。
we don't want to talk about dirty jokes.
在网络上认识了一个美女。
On the
聊了3个
internet,
月
I
今天
know
约她在公园见面，
a beautiful girl and been chatting for
突然间收到老婆的简讯，
for
回来
two
吧
two
亲爱
hours
的老公，
and didn't see anything. And then I got a
我
text
们
from
在
my
家里
wife.
见面也可以呀。
Come home, hubby. You know, it's so windy out. Why can't we just meet at home?
告诉大家，网络诈骗很多。
So let me tell you,
哦，马里边米后。
there are many tricks on the internet. So please be careful.
圣尊严生活佛宝贵的法语开示。